Hello everyone, my name's Idiotic Synergy, and today we're talking about the Haemonculus. Now, the Haemonculus is a really weird Dark Eldar unit that will never be brought in any army, because it's not the Archon and it's not a Succubus. People will bring the Archon, the Succubus, Lilith, but you never see anyone bring the Haemonculus, because the Haemonculus I generally don't know if it's useful or not. There has to be a reason why no one brings this model, because it's one of the best Dark Eldar models in my opinion. I think from just how it looks alone, it's just great. I mean, where to begin? Should we start like the weird spine tail that it uses to hover menacingly? The weird skin cape thing he's wearing? The fact his arms are really weird and he's got like 4 arms with all like that's been mutated and just filled with unnecessarily weird drugs and shit. It's a really weird and cool model. And also, look at the front here. His chest has been sewn shut or something. It's such a weird model to even talk about because it's just odd. Usually when people talk about Dark Eldar, they talk about the succubuses. Also, I've noticed that his cloak is hung by hooks that's attached to his skin. It's just skin hooks. If he was a Night Lord, they would probably accept him because he is really fucking weird. Seriously. In fact, I'm surprised this isn't an alternative version of Fabius Bile. He's got the hair. He's got Fabius's Bile's hair going on, but is just a really weird model. Such a weird model, and I think it's one of the best Dark Eldar models, in my opinion, because it is so weird and out there, and yeah, I think this model deserves some more attention. Also, it's not resin, it's plastic. It's an 11-piece plastic kit. I don't hate this model at all. It's, again, one of the best Dark Eldar models. And I will fight you if you disagree, because it just is. I mean, look how weird and grotesque he is. I want to know why you never see more of this Git. I generally am baffled why you don't see this Git more. I don't know how good he is in game, and maybe that's why no one brings him. But I'm gonna have to find out, aren't I? Oh god. Sorry, I know I should be like more happy, and usually I am. It's just good days, bad days. Doesn't matter. I don't matter. Anyway, despite that, I think it's time to look at the rules. Also, I've noticed that his spine is like stretched, and his skin's like stretched around this weird tail that's hovering around him, and yeah, it's just really weird. I love how odd and disgusting this model is, and there's more. See, like, look here. There's his skin that's stretched around his spine. It's so odd. Also, he's got hooks in his face. It's such a weird model. I assume they're hooks. Maybe they're just piercings. I don't know. But it's just a weird model, and I love it. I love all the tubes going inside him as well. It's, again, one of the best Dark Eldar models ever. I will fight you if you disagree. I generally think this model is just pure body horror, and that's why I love it so much. Anyway, we should look at the rules. So yeah, rule time, woo! So yeah, these are the rules, and honestly, it's a bit like me, kind of pointless. Oh dear, yes. Anyway, despite that, movement 7, weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 2, strength 3, toughness 4, wound 6, attacks for leadership 8, and save of a 6. However, thanks to power from pain, you got a 6 up invulnerable, and then on turn 4 it turns into a 5 up invulnerable. How very nice. Yeah, the stats for this character I'm surprised he's toughness 4. That's quite good for Eldar. And he's quite fast. However, looking at his weapons, there's not a lot here that stick out. I mean, yes, the homunculus tools are quite, I was about to say are quite useful, but you only got 4 attacks. And you are equipped with the Stinger Pistol, Homunculus tools, the I-Core Injector, and Scissor Hand. And I don't know if the poison, because it's strength of the user, but that doesn't matter. With the Homunculus tools, you are wounding on 2s, but there's no AP. However, with Blade Artists, if you roll a 6, it becomes AP -1. Ooh, but again, it's just 1 damage, no AP, which is alright depending on who you're fighting, but if you're fighting like Terminators or something with a 2-up save, it just seems a bit redundant. The Stinger Pistol, you only got 1 shot with it, and again, you're hitting and wounding on 2s. The I-Core Injector is a weird weapon, because you just need a hit with it and then it does a mortal wound. However, the attack sequence ends, so you might as well finish with the I-Core Injector attacks. The Scissor Hands, you wound people on 4s. You hit on 2s, you wound on 4s. Each time a bearer fights, it makes an additional 2 attacks with this weapon. So, I don't know. I think the homunculus tools is quite good depending who you're fighting, but with the Scissor Hands, AP -2 is not to be sniffed at, and considering that it's, you know, one of its few weapons, then you might as well just use Scissor Hands. However, if I was in charge of the fight phase, I'd put 2 attacks into Scissor Hands, because then you get 2 additional attacks, 1 attack with the homunculus tools, and 1 attack with the I-Core Injector, just so then every weapon gets gets some sort of use. But it's the 1 damage. It's the 1 damage that lets it down slightly. I reckon the Scissor Hand should be 2 damage, but again, would that make the unit broken? I don't know. And looking at the abilities it has, the only saving grace is Insensible to Pain, where you roll 1d6 on a 5 that wound is not lost. So it's basic. So he's got a 5-up Feel No Pain, which ain't half bad. But looking at what he does, I don't think he's useful. I really don't think he's that useful, which is a shame because the model is really cool. Oh, sorry about that. Sudden edit. I just coughed. Anyway. Oh, I'm terrible. Anyway, so, where was I? Ah, yes, his abilities. It's not great. It's not bad. It ain't great. I think the only saving grace is the 5-up. Feel No Pain he gets, because Master of Pain is, while a friendly homunculus Coven core unit is within 6 inches of enemy models with this ability, add 1 to the toughness characteristic of models in that unit. You might think that's quite good, and no. It's so limited to both Racks and Grotesques. Grotesques turn into toughness 6, while Racks turn into toughness 5. So there is a use there, but it's reliant on you bringing both Racks and Grotesques along with you. And the other ability that the homunculus has is Fleshcraft, where you choose 1 monster or 1 Grotesques model. This is the monster. It's the Kronos or Talos, which I quite like. And you get to heal 1 model where it regains D3 lost wounds. Yeah, it's not great. It really isn't great, and I kind of wish it did more. I really wish it did more than just fuck all, if I'm being honest, because it's a shame. I think the homunculus could be a really good unit. I think they could do some more really interesting rules. Like what Fabius, it's like a diet version of Fabius Bile, only without Fabius's Bile's buffs. I kind of wanted the Haemonculus to do more than just nothing, and I guess it's useful depending on like how you build your army. But again, you might as well just bring a fucking Archon with you, which no, don't do. You might as well bring a Succubus or Lilith with you, if I'm being honest. Don't bring an Archon. Don't be stupid and bring an Archon. It's just that in my brain, it's like, okay, this thing could be more useful. Because it could have more interesting abilities. Its weapons could be more interesting. I mean, I like the poisoned weapons, they're alright, but it doesn't feel weird enough, it just feels half-assed. It's a great model, dampened by its rules. And that's all I've got for today, so I'll see you at some point.